Well, good morning. It is Sunday, May the 23rd of 2021. And again, the year is just going by so fast. But before I get into what I was thinking about last week, I want to give a big shout out to Carolyn and all of the other volunteers who came together and put on an event last week here at the building, the Crazed Kids Race Day. It appeared that everyone had a great time. And again, thank you to Carolyn for coming up with all of the ideas and the games and the activities, and for all the volunteers who made it possible. I do appreciate your efforts in showing the love of God to this community and to the folks in our church and our preschool families. As a result of last week's press conference with the mayor and Dr. Kane of the Marion County Public Health Department, it appears that we will be able to hold Vacation Bible School and Back to School Night and hopefully Touch a Truck later on this year. So please be watching the bulletin and reading the bulletin for more information on those activities and other activities that we are going to have the rest of this year. But we will not be subject to many of the COVID restrictions for large gatherings, since large gatherings are now capped at 500 people. And if you have over 500 people, then you have to have a risk mitigation plan, but I don't think that's going to come into effect. So again, please pay attention to the bulletin. And when we put out the information, please volunteer to help with these activities. Well, the main thing I guess that I thought about last week was that on Thursday of last week, I turned 65, a major milestone in the lives of most Americans, because at age 65, we become eligible for Medicare. And again, even though I got my Medicare card several months ago in the mail, again, which was an eye-opener, the fact that I am actually now 65 and that I can pull out my Medicare card the next time I go see a doctor, it was still a rather sobering event to wake up Thursday morning and realize that, yes, I am eligible for Medicare, and that, yes, I am 65 years old. But one of the things that I thought about was that passage in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, where Solomon writes about getting old, and how that as you get older, your body obviously doesn't work as well as it used to when you were younger, but also how your mind is affected, and that how you're scared of things that didn't used to bother you at all. And I can remember some 30, 35 years ago, my brother-in-law and I built a log house for my wife and I in Kentucky. And we had the foundation built by some experts, but then he and I put all the logs up, and he and I put the roof on. We put the plywood. We had some professional builders come in and put in the rafters because they were 6 by 4 foot rough-hewn beams, and we just didn't have the equipment to put them up. But after they were up, my brother-in-law put up all the plywood and the tar paper and the shingles. And I didn't think a thing in the world about climbing up there on the roof and doing all of that. And I haven't been up on a roof in years, not because I haven't had the opportunity, but because I'm scared. The older I have gotten, the more scared I am of heights. And that's one of the things that Solomon writes about. As a result of getting older, we're just more scared now of things that used to not bother us at all when we were young. And so he gives an encouragement to rejoice in your youth and to remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the evil days come and you say to yourself, I have no pleasure in them. Now, I haven't reached that stage yet, but I know people who are older who just want to go and meet Jesus because life no longer holds any pleasure for them. And I'm not there yet, and I hope I never get to that point. but my body does hurt more than it did 30, 40 years ago. Sometimes I just wake up with a new pain and I don't know what in the world went on at night while I was sleeping, but something hurts that didn't hurt when I went to sleep that night. I don't recover from playing handball as quickly as I used to. But for those of us who are of an age, I hope we have spent some of our youth building a relationship with God so that as life gets harder and as our body begins to break down and to hurt more, that we can take comfort in the relationship that we built with Jesus and God through the years. And for those of you who are younger, let me encourage you to go read Ecclesiastes chapter 12, because there will come a day when your body and your mind simply don't work as easily and as well as they do when you're young. Rejoice in your youth. Take advantage of your youth. Build a relationship with God and with Jesus Christ that will last the rest of your life. Because as Solomon said, the older you get, the more your body is going to hurt, and the more scared you're going to be of things that never bothered you when you were young. You're not going to be able to sleep as well. You'll wake up, as he says, at the sound of a bird. So rejoice in your youth. Build a great relationship with God and with Jesus Christ. Get to know them, and it will serve you well as you grow older. I appreciate all the cards and the phone calls for my birthday and all the kind words. And I pray that we'll have many more years together working and laboring in God's kingdom and trying to show the light of God's love to one another and to our preschool families and to the community that surrounds this building. Well, I pray you'll have a great week.